I'm out in the garage. I'm just about to sharpen up a couple of tools and I thought, well, why not take a video? It's going to be quite entertaining, get a lot of sparks off this. It's an old vintage hand crank grinder. Cost me, I think, something like about 50p from a car boot sale, including the wheel. It was completely and absolutely seized up. Looked like it was beyond repair. Having said that, got it home and it wasn't that difficult actually to loosen it off and then get it running over. I never bothered to paint it up. I just use this as a working tool. I'm not really interested in making this look particularly fancy. I do use this regularly. I've got an electric bench grinder as well, which I occasionally use. But I do like using this. The one disadvantage of using this is that if you are let's say if I'm sharpening a drill bit and I'm cranking it with my right hand, then I have to hold the drill bit with my left. Not so keen on that. When my sons get older, I might get them cranking the thing over. Wife is old enough, but yeah, she wouldn't want to come out in the garage, would she? So yeah, I'll give you a quick demonstration. It's nice and controllable. It's easy to operate. You can get it to run as fast or as slow as you want. I mean, sometimes I go really quite slow. Don't want to overheat the cutter, say. But having said that, the normal thing is to, whatever let's say you're doing a cold chisel or whatever, to have a pot of water, just dip it in the pot of water occasionally just to cool it down. And I'm not doing that just for today, just while I'm taking this video, purely because I've got enough stuff on the bench at the moment. Now, I've got a tachometer here, which hopefully is just about within the view now. And I've put a reflective strip just on the side. So hopefully, when we crank this over, we'll actually get an indication of speed. Hopefully you can see that. I would guess that probably typical, if there is a typical speed, I'd probably normally crank it over about that sort of speed. You can crank it over faster, but you know, bearing in mind you don't want to get out of puff and you want to have your other hand steady when you're holding whatever it is you're grinding. Probably that's like a good speed. Like I say, in the future, if I get my sons cranking over, no doubt they'll actually want to go hell for leather. I probably don't actually want it to run that fast. But just for laughs, just for kicks, let's just crank it over a bit fast and see how we can go. Yeah, you can go pretty quick. But, you know, by the way, you don't want to hit your knuckles on that. It's going to hurt, I would think. And yeah, it keeps on going for quite a while, doesn't it? I mean, when you have got your hand on it, it's quite easy to stop, but it's just like trying to grab your hand on it as it is flying around. So, let's just sharpen a couple of things. Cold chisel is like a typical sort of thing that I might want to sharpen. You can get a reasonable, no, not just reasonable, you can get a good edge with this. Yeah, it's quite good actually. Let's have another go at the hatchet. I do tend to rest it on the tool rest here. Sometimes I don't though, you know, like if I'm sharpening up a machete, say, I might hold the machete across like that. Now I've got my fingers on the tool rest, I'm just holding it up a bit. However you fancy it really. You can go down there like that if you want, that's on the tool rest. It's just so satisfying, I find, just sharpening something by hand. And just for fun, hopefully this is going to stay focused because I enabled manual focus earlier. Let's throw the lights off. I've got the light on the front of the camera, so hopefully you'll be able to see something at least before the sparks start flying. So hopefully you can just about make out the grinder still. It's going to get bright from the sparks anyway. I'm just trying to look at what I'm going to cut here, so there we go. There's a good fireworks there in the dark. Let's go for the hatchet. And let's go for a bit of steel wire here. This is looking particularly unimpressive. Interesting. That's got to be the best of all, hasn't it, for the sparks. Let's turn the lights back on. Points to note, if I've not mentioned it already, I do have safety goggles on. I've got specs on as well actually. There's no guard on here, and obviously you don't want to get your finger trapped there. This could very well be a vintage wheel. Don't know what it's made from. So there is always the risk of breathing in the dust from an unknown wheel or even a known wheel. So I either tend to do this outside normally. It's a bit too late to even do that. Do it outside, or even though that this is this might sound a bit crazy now, even though this is hand cranked, actually I put a shop vac on the side to suck the dust away, and it's high filtration efficiency, so I know that's quite safe. Yeah, so overall really happy with this. This is actually the second one I've ever bought. I did have one and I sold it, and now that I've got this this one, and I do see them from time to time, and I don't think anyone really wants them. You can find them on eBay, I'm sure, for probably not a lot of money, particularly if it's not being restored. And I wouldn't bother getting one that's been restored, so long as it cranks over, or even if it's seized up, it might be worth the risk. Certainly if you, like me, you're just paying 50p for it, then it's definitely worth that risk, because they are a good useful tool. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video.